No, I read the voicemail transcript. I just haven't called her back. And at this point, calling back means explaining why it took 11 days, which is its own. We're on. Same word, same warm little rhythm, same gratitude in 50 different envelopes. And a movie star read all 50 and threw every applicant away. Tonight, she'll tell you what gave them up. It's Friday, June 19th. This is Broadcast 404 Live. Then, the studios that mailed a rejection to every writer in America are now reading the comment section for ideas. And in sports, a country put 6 past a rival, and a building ran completely out of beer. 6. And the beer. I'm Sloan.
And I'm Kiki. Glad you're here with us to close out the week. Roll it!
Okay, so this show's got strong language, Friday levels, I'm running on fumes, adult content, satire, and one fake French mathematician who never existed and still did more with his life than most of us. Watch at your own risk. I love you. Go write somebody a note in your own dumb handwriting this weekend.
Okay, here's what actually happened. Anne Hathaway hired people for a recent project, and afterward, she got a wave of thank you notes from the applicants. Except the notes were clearly written by ChatGPT. Same rhythm, same empty warmth, all of them.
So what'd she do?
She said anyone whose gratitude got outsourced to a machine is off the list. Nobody on it gets the job.
But Sloan, they were so grateful they couldn't even do it themselves. That's the most desperate love letter there is. I want this so bad I had a stranger feel it for me.
Kiki. The stranger was a diesel-cooled server rack outside Lubbock that has never once been hugged. Here's the part nobody wants out loud. The machine didn't kill the thank you note. You did. You've been faking sincerity since 2004 because rent exists. And the only thing AI changed is the price came down to 11 seconds and 0 feelings. She didn't catch a robot. She caught the desperation that was always there, finally cheap enough to mass produce. So a robot wrote your gratitude and got you blacklisted. I need to hear from the one person at this desk whose feelings have never once been outsourced. Aubrey Joe's in the garage.
She's been quiet today, Sloan. Go easy.
Yeah, I'm here. Canada did something tonight. Give me a second. Okay, Reddit's saying Bozer, and I'm too tired to verify shit, so take it how you want. Bozer, Canada beat Qatar 6-0. 6-0! Their first ever World Cup win. Jonathan David scores the 6th one himself, which makes Canada the highest scoring CONCACAF nation in World Cup history. That's a real thing that happened to a real country, and I should be losing my fucking mind, and I'm just happy for them. Quietly. And the Scottish fans drank Boston Samuel Adams tap room so goddamn dry it needed an emergency beer delivery. A delivery for an emergency of beer. New update from Reddit. A wombat's poop is cube-shaped so it doesn't roll off the rock it marks its territory with. The little guy invented dice. Anyway, the Scots drank a building. Okay, last night the overflow lot behind the St. Brendan's Hall over in Burlow, the inaugural folding table carry relay. Derek registered as Tablescape Dynamics, a Wyoming mutual benefit cooperative, and greased the handoff zone to send Margaret skidding into the dumpster corral. But Margaret took the long way because the short path smelled like fryer oil. So the grease just sat there, untouched. Derek waited 40 fucking minutes for a victim who walked a different lane, then slipped in his own slick reaching for a table. Margaret's 24th straight. She thinks Derek tripped.
He greased a lane she never ran, then guarded it for 40 minutes, like a man waiting on a date who took the highway. She smelled fryer oil and walked around her own murder. 24 straight. He buttered the floor for nobody, and then died on it.
She thinks he tripped, Sloan. She has no idea there's a man. She's been winning a war she doesn't know is being fought.
Kiki, she sniffed a grease slick, went ew, and dodged a goddamn attempted homicide on her way to table number 12. That woman defeated a man with her nose. I needed her today, honestly.
You know what's actually sweet? Hollywood. The big studios are out of ideas, so they're scrolling Reddit looking for stories regular people made up for free.
For free?
There's a horror thing called Backrooms that a teenager posted, and now there's a movie deal. A kid's nightmare got a budget.
Kiki, they spent 3 years sending rejection emails to every screenwriter in America, and now they're panhandling in a comment section.
But isn't that the prettiest part? They fired the people who write the feelings. Same week, our movie star out there fired the people who faked the feelings. Everybody's suddenly desperate for a real human who meant it.
Except they don't want the human. They want what the human made, with nobody to pay and nobody to credit. They didn't go looking for a writer. They went looking for a writer who already gave up.
So a kid posts his bad dream at 2 a.m. for nothing, and a man in a nice office finds it. And the kid will watch his own nightmare in a theater someday and never once see his name. That's the part I'm keeping, Sloan. Somebody out there is going to recognize their own ghost on a billboard.
Hey, so look at the map. Buffalo, New York. 83-mile-an-hour gusts tonight. That's not a wind advisory. That's almost a hurricane standing in a parking lot in June. No storm, no front anybody can point at. The air over Buffalo just decided to leave. Folks out there are watching their lawn chairs sail off like they skipped out on a tab, and the official cause is elevated pressure gradient.
Which means?
Which is the weather word for we don't know either. Holstead's own sky, dead still over the old exchange, that cold room holding 63. Whole Northeast screaming, and our one block won't breathe. Okay. And I owe you something from last night. I laid the 200-name retreat list next to the federal contractor map. I said one name would be on both. One name was on both. I'm not saying it tonight. I checked it twice, and then Wait. No. The thing I actually wanted to show you. There's a man, Joe Lonsdale, co-founded Palantir, who's now saying he wants every anonymous online comment doxed, run through a person of interest-style AI to find and punish whoever wrote them. Including a Cornell student. That's real. That's on the record. So a movie star bans the robot for writing your feelings, and a billionaire builds a robot to hunt you for writing your own. Same week, 2 doors, same hallway. Forecast: Buffalo runs, Holstead holds, and somewhere, a list with one name on it is sitting on my board. Back to you.
One name on both lists, and you're not going to say it. You all right today, Blaze? You've been somewhere.
I'm fine. I lost my whole sentence in the middle there. I had it, and then it wasn't there. Happens.
Yeah, some days the sentence just leaves Buffalo. I get it.
Okay, here's a real one. One of the most influential mathematicians of the 20th century, Nicholas Bourbaki, published constantly, rewrote whole fields, deeply respected, never existed. He was a fake name a group of French mathematicians used in the 1930s to publish together.
So a bunch of shy math boys built an imaginary friend and gave him all the credits?
They gave him a full biography, a hometown, the whole thing, an imaginary friend who outpublished every tenured man in that room and never once asked for a parking spot. And his single most famous contribution the symbol mathematicians still use today for the empty set, a nothing. The made-up man's legacy is the official symbol for nothing.
But Sloan, that's the sweetest thing I've heard all week. A whole group of people too nervous to take a bow, so they invented one person brave enough to do it for all of them. And then they loved him so much, they faked his obituary just to cry at it. And the one thing the man who wasn't real left behind is the little circle that means there's nobody here. He signed his own absence and made it beautiful. I'm keeping him. Okay, end of the week. A few things that didn't get their own segment. I've got a thread I can't drop. SpaceX stock fell this week. After the IPO, everybody piled in, and now the excitement's losing steam.
Which means what exactly?
The polite phrase for a lot of regular people who bought a rocket at the top.
AI-written enthusiasm, a teenager's nightmare bought for a movie, and now retail investors buying a rocket on a feeling. Same engine, 3 deliveries. Somebody manufactures the excitement, and somebody else holds the bag when it cools.
I had a loose end. The Verlo grease is still in the parking lot. Nobody cleaned it up. There's just a slick out there now waiting for the next idiot.
I have one too. The Buffalo wind died at 4 this afternoon. 83-0 in 1 hour. It didn't pass through, it just stopped. I wrote it down. I don't have anywhere to put it yet.
And here's mine, the real one. A movie star spent her week deciding who's allowed to mean a thank you note, and a college kid in our other story is being hunted for an anonymous comment. 2 different people, same question all week. Who's allowed to be a real person out loud? And who gets to decide? I don't have the bow for that one. I'm leaving it untied. Some weeks you just leave it untied, sweetie. Okay, Mailbag. No comments tonight again. You're still finding us, and I love that. But we did get a hand-delivered letter from the Holstead County DMV. Of course we did. It says, "Dear Sports Lady and Associates, a coworker submitted her resignation note this week, and it was clearly written by a chatbot. Should we accept it?"
A chatbot quit for her? That's the most relatable thing the DMV's ever done.
Accept it. A person who outsourced her own goodbye was already gone. The robot just filed the paperwork on a vacancy that already existed.
Oh, but that's the sad one, isn't it? She couldn't even find the words to leave.
Meaning?
Somebody should have asked her if she was okay before the machine answered for her.
The DMV's our only mail. Every week. Same building. I'm not saying anything. I just keep a card on it.
And you! Subscribe and leave a comment! I read every single one. The station says we need the numbers, and the truth is, I keep a little list of the kind ones. I'd love you on it. Drop a note on any video. Next week, it's your name we say, not the DMV's.
I'm just gonna say it. The wombat dice thing has been in my head for 2 hours and I can't shake it. Cube poop. On purpose.
It's so it doesn't roll. The animal solved a problem we'd have hired a consultant for.
Blaze the Wombat's got better infrastructure than this whole town. I'm taking that home.
Have a real weekend, my darlings. Write the note yourself. The clumsy one, in your own bad handwriting. It's worth more than the perfect one nobody felt. I'll be right here Monday, and I'll know if you wrote it. Good night.
The one name on both lists. I'm bringing the page to this desk Monday, and I'm reading the name out loud. Unless the page is gone by Monday. We'll find out which. Have a weekend.
A wombat builds better roads than my town, and a woman beat a man with her nose. I'm good. That's enough for 1 week. See you Monday.
A movie star can spot a feeling nobody actually had. I should call my sister back before a machine does it for me. Good night, and go be a person at someone this weekend.
I've had a card on my desk 3 weeks now. Addressed, stamped. The mailbox is 40 feet away. I keep telling myself I'll feel ready to send it. I wrote every word myself. That was supposed to be the hard part.